So again, I think that we are most of us aware that the ethnicity and skin colour of those used in advertisements, public service announcements, and artists' impressions is very carefully calibrated according to the purpose of the proposed artwork. For example, if you wish to warn people about the sexual harassment of women, you would not dream of using a black man to illustrate your poster. Instead, a sleazy and menacing looking white man is what you would choose. If, on the other hand, you are advertising a job in a nuclear physics laboratory, then you would choose a black person to be shown working there, because this illustrates the point perfectly that black people are just as much able to work in such environments as white people, Indians, or Chinese. I don't think I really need to explore this particular aspect of the business any further, because everybody watching this will be perfectly familiar with the concept. The general rule is that for anything undesirable or criminal, white men are used. But for high status jobs and intellectual pursuits, it's conventional to use black people. Sometimes, though, white people and black are used together to mislead and deceive the public. Somebody sent me an example of this recently, which I found very amusing, and so I thought I might as well share it with viewers of this channel. The English city of Stafford is still mainly white. Almost 95% of residents there belong to this ethnicity, but it is rapidly being settled by people of Pakistani heritage. It is not difficult to see which way the wind is blowing, especially since planning permission has been applied for relating to a mosque in the city. Of course, the application for planning permission played down the fact that it would be a mosque and tried to create the impression that it would be a building which would benefit everybody in the area. So we read that the community centre is not just for Muslims. We envision a multifunctional space open to all, providing educational and cultural events to foster understanding and cohesion, health and well-being initiatives such as free medical checkups and mental health support, youth engagement programs to provide a positive environment for young people, and social support for the elderly and vulnerable, regardless of background and faith. All this is, of course, a series of deliberate and cold-blooded lies, but it seems to have done the trick because planning permission is now on the verge of being granted. This tactic is a common one when some building is being converted into a mosque or a mosque is being built. The claim is always made that it will benefit the entire community and not simply be for Muslims. The mosque is often described as a community centre rather than a mosque. This false claim is also vital because most of those applications are associated with charities, which, although they are really only for Muslims, have to claim that everybody will benefit and that they are working on behalf of all children or poor people and so on. This is never true, of course. Once the so-called community centre opens, you will never see anybody but Pakistanis or Saletis going into it. Within a week or two, it will simply become a mosque, and the pretense that it was ever going to be a community centre is quietly dropped. No doubt, this is what will happen in Stafford. The thumbnail to this video shows the artist's impression of the community centre, which was submitted to the local authority along with the architectural plans. Here you see the way that ethnicity can come in handy. We see a white man standing next to a black man who is casually dressed with his hands in his pockets. Nearby, another white man plays a clapping game with his young son. This is all meant to indicate that it will be common to see white people using this place as a secular and non-denominational place to hang out. I'm sure that many viewers will be familiar with mosques in their district. Has anybody ever seen a scene of this kind, with white people just hanging out casually in the grounds of the mosque? How likely is this? This too is part of the ethnicity racket, where skin colour is used to confuse and disguise what is going on, It's a big industry these days. In the description to this video, I give a link to a news item about the new mosque in Stafford.